Parenting OCD tips. I think we're on video number 22 now, and today's video we're going to cover how to overcome challenges, because unless you've got a miracle of a child, you're going to come across lots of challenges when you're trying to introduce them to ERP therapy, because at the end of the day it's very hard for them. I think we've got to understand as parents that to us we can't sort of always maybe understand it, but to them it poses a real risk and a threat to them if they're going to suddenly stand up to this invisible bully, because he's sort of holding them to ransom, telling them that, that something terrible is going to happen. So how can we make it a little bit more bearable if there are some challenges? Some of the most obvious ways are, have you agreed a realistic time frame? Like, for example, if you decided to do something in a week, then realistically and ideally it might take a month or 2 months. So reassess the time frame. Have you broken it up into small enough steps? Have you been agreeing rewards? And have you, we covered rewards, didn't we, on the last video? And if you haven't seen the last video, you can pop into the playlist, because I've got all the videos saved there for you under the 30-day video challenge playlist. So, if you agreed on rewards, have you kept to the rewards? You can negotiate with them. Like, if they don't want to do therapy one day, say, right, okay, then I understand that, but agree a trade-off. Say, well, what can you do for me instead? You're not going to do that, so will you do something else for me instead? Even if it means they're going to just continue doing what they did the previous day, but as long as they keep in continuity, because it is really, really important they stay consistent and keep a united front up with ERP therapy. And that's another tip, actually. Just make sure that you are all singing from the same page and that you are all keeping to the same sort of structure with this ERP therapy and staying consistent. As I say, it's just just a recap. Is checking the time frame, making sure you got rewards. Have you broken up into small enough steps? Negotiate a different way. I'd say, well, if you want to do this, what else will you do for me? And just sit down and have a chat with them, really, because often they might be able to come up with a way as well that they think will make the therapy easier for them. And if it's reasonable, be prepared to, as I say, negotiate and just tweak it where you need to. I cover more on overcoming challenges and everything else I've covered within this video series within an OCD in teenagers workshop that I've created for parents like you who are struggling to navigate through OCD. Because I've been there myself, I know what it's like, and I am so grateful to have come out the other side, because OCD was leading to us as a family, a whole family, being controlled by an invisible bully, which was isolating us to our home. Nobody was able to come to the house. We very infrequently went out, because, to be honest with you, we'd have to cut it short so many times where she'd be scanning or something would be posing a threat to her, that we'd end up going home. So sometimes it just felt easier to stay home than to venture outside. Her schooling went really poor at one point, but again, I covered that in the OCD workshop. I covered how we found a way around that and how she went on to not just smash her grades in GCSE and A-levels, but how she's now gone on to study in a dream university in London. So in a nutshell, I think what I'm trying to say to you as parents, I'm trying to offer you hope, because I've been where you are. I know it's a really dark, bleak place. Is she completely cured, my daughter? No. I mean, she's certainly leading a more normal life. We get the odd blip here and there, but the difference is now I know how to tackle those blips. I know how to nip it in the bud. I know how not to feed it and how not for it to get worse. And by the following day, we're normally, I would say touch wood now, because we haven't had an episode for a while, but we're normally now just getting through a normal day and a normal life, which from where we are, honestly, is like a miracle. It really is like a miracle. And I say that's why I created this OCD workshop. I mean, if you fancy taking a look at the workshop, it costs £45, a one-off cost. It's covered by the Teachable platform 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you try it out and you think, well, do you know, I haven't learned anything off there, I'd be disappointed, because I put hours of labour into it, but I'd understand. It's everybody's own choice, but you can have a no-quibble money-back guarantee, so there really is nothing to, lose. And also I offer 3 bonuses in the workshop as well. I offer access to a private face group where we parents can compare notes, so to speak, and help each other through this phase. I also offer a free copy of my digital ebook for parents to parent OCD. That's usually retails at £15. And I'm also offering a 1-hour Zoom call with myself if you just want to sort of pick my brains as to what worked for me or what I found challenging and how I overcame it. Or if you just want to ask me some advice about your child's situation. I don't know how long I'll be throwing these bonuses in for, but it's certainly going to be for a little while yet, because I just want to give back as much as I possibly can to try and help other parents who are actually, you know, having a nightmare trying to parent OCD. So that's it for today's Parenting OCD tip. Hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. And I'll pop a link to my Parenting OCD and Teenagers workshop in the comments below.